Let's talk some more CONCACAF transfer rumors in episode 6 of our weekly series per usual. I got the four of us together today to talk about it. Obviously, my name is Elijah. I'm joined with Andres, Diego, and Joaquin. And we're going to be talking about Gio Reyna to Real Sociedad, Promise David to Brighton, and Brian Gutierrez to maybe Roma in Italy. So, of course, let us know your opinion down below as you're watching the video. If you think they should go, if you think they shouldn't go, and if they shouldn't, where should they go? Let's start with Gio Reyna. Very, very interesting as a player, both for club and for country, but mainly for club. This man should have left Dortmund 2 years ago at this point. Numerous disappointing loan spells, numerous missed games at Dortmund. Real Sociedad, how do you guys feel about that? Is that the right move for him? Is that the move for Sociedad? How do you feel?
Dude, it's anywhere. It's anywhere for that, man. Wherever we can go. Sorry, Diego.
No. I mean, I agree. He needs to get out. I don't know if I love Real Sociedad. Will he play? Probably. I think he probably would play. Is the team set up for his instant success? No. They had a tough season this season. And they probably weren't to where they want to be. And I know Real Sociedad, they performed better in previous seasons, so maybe they could turn it around, But I just feel like there's probably better teams out there for his development. Again, his attitude, we don't know like everything behind the scenes, but from what the rumors and what we've heard, it could be a problem. And maybe some teams just don't want to take a chance on that. And if that's the case, then you can't really start. Beggars can't be choosers, right? You gotta take what you can get. And if that team is interested in him and they're showing him that, like, yes, we think we're the right next step for you, then I can't blame him for if he wants to move. But I agree with Andres wholeheartedly. Anywhere, Reyna's just not playing that much for Dortmund anymore. Dortmund have moved on past him. And I think it's time for him to go somewhere where he can start playing every game, getting to a rhythm, and maybe a team that has a senior player that he can connect to that can really kind of guide him, because that is so important. Having a player that can guide you in your career. Maybe he hasn't had that. Maybe that's why he has all the attitude issues. Hopefully, maybe that can fix some of it, and maybe go somewhere where, like, oh yeah, this player can really be a mentor to him, because that dressing room, and that mentorship and that ability to share your experience really does affect players a lot. So I hope that wherever he goes, that is the case. Is it Sociedad? I don't love that, but I don't mind if he goes to any team that just was willing to play him and he can start playing and getting that game time that he desperately needs. Because you're not gonna do anything sitting on the bench. There's nothing's gonna come from that.
Yeah. And to Sociedad's credit, obviously, at least for the next season onward, it's going to be a lot of change. Their manager Alguacil is just stepped down as manager. I think after like 6 or 7 years, they replaced him with Sergio Francisco, who was like their B and C team coach over like the course of 8 years or so. So it's going to be a lot different. Obviously, they're going to be losing Zubimendi, of course, to Arsenal more than likely. Their current Cam Mendes might be on the move. Also, he has been rumored for a transfer elsewhere. So Sociedad have a lot of opportunity to reinvent the squad because it is not the same team years past. I think they're due for a difference, a change, if you will, because like you said, they had a disappointing season and they're going to be losing one of their biggest parts in Zubimendi. So it's an opportunity to change the whole thing around, especially because Zubimendi, it's arguably the best DM in La Liga, if it's not top 2, top 3. He will be leaving. So it's time to reinvigorate the squad. It's time to change it up. Is Gio Reyna the answer? No. But can he be a part of it? I think so, especially if Mendes moves from that camp spot. I know this past season, Sociedad had a lot of struggling with goal scoring and chances created. They finished in 11th, and in that top 12 teams, they were tied for like the lowest goal scorer to the whole time. Defensively, they were decent enough to be up there, but they just can't score. They can't create. They can't do anything. I think Gio Reyna's skill set though does suit that very well. He is able to create chances out of nothing. He is able to move the ball forward, and that's why I think a lot of USMNT fans do enjoy bringing him on, is for that reason, because he can do that. And maybe Sociedad are going to need that next year, at least just to get something going on the attacking front, that is. But if anybody, do you not think that Sociedad should go, or if he should go, let us know why. Joaquin, what do you think? Do you ever manage Sociedad?
I think he just needs like as much game time as he can before the World Cup, just to get in form. But I do agree with Diego that it's not like it may not be the best spot for him, but I mean any game time is better than no game time. So I think just playing, maybe he'll adapt, and there's some good veteran talent there too. So I think he could learn a few stuff from them, and also like he's never played in Spain before, so it could be a new way like to learn how to play there. And I think he's adaptable though, so I feel like it might be a good spot for him.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Sociedad have a good team too. Like Sociedad on paper
Mhm.
should not have finished in 12 and 11. That's why it was so disappointing for Sociedad fans, because Sociedad should be competing for that top 7, 8 team, if not even better, because they have a really, really good team, which is a good sign for Gio Reyna to be joining. Because, like you said, yeah, should be playing. I do think a La Liga move would be very beneficial. I know a lot of people have been wanting him to move to La Liga before, not like a Nottingham Forest, which what kind of stupid move was that back then? And his loan move, if you guys remember that was just dumb. And he's wasted so much time now, so much time in his development when he could have been I don't want to say world class, but a really, really, really good player. A really good player. He had all the potential to do so. But I like La Liga a lot. If you have a different La Liga team you want to join, let us know. I think Sociedad would be a good fit. Like I said, he could be part of that new era. It's not like they have to change the team for him. They would just have to change the team with him, which is a big difference. It's a big difference, despite it being a one-word difference. So yeah, I like him going to Sociedad a lot. That would be cool, and you're right. As long as he plays, as long as he plays. Andres, other than Boo, do you have an opinion on Gio Reyna moving to Sociedad?
Look, I don't like the guy personally. Character issues, people with big egos can't stand it, especially when daddy's involved. So, not not a massive fan of him. But look, from a purely footballing perspective, he probably, yeah, I agreed with what you said earlier. Dortmund, he should have left a long time ago. Maybe like when he was on his, I don't want to say like a high, but like when he was in like good form or like good reputation with everyone
Better
and all that.
form.
Just yeah. So look. If it's Real Sociedad, it's Real Sociedad. I also heard, like, I'm gonna probably butcher. It's Flamengo, right?
Flamengo, yeah.
Yep. They're interested as well. I was when I was doing research for him, so that would be a very interesting move to say the least. But look, at the end of the day, Diego, Joaquin, sorry, was right. You want, this World Cup's coming along. You want to be in your best form possible. You want to be in that starting 11, and so the only way to do that is if get this move done, and then hopefully it's before the Club World Cup. Maybe he goes somewhere right before, because then you're dragged on in the season. It gets so you're caught up with the team, and then you got to move, and then you want to rest, and then you can't, and then you just start the season slow because you're tired from all the competitions you're in. So hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully he gets his move done, because they do have a special a little transfer window right before the Club World Cup, specifically designed. So hopefully he gets out when he can. But if not, it's completely understandable. But hopefully he gets out as soon as possible, because that is 16 matches he's played this season, and it's just literally like, if you look, it just keeps going downhill. Like he's projected to probably get 10 next season if he did stay, which would be dreadful. So that's my take on it.
I like it. Obviously, let us know in the comments down below if you think Gio Reyna to Sociedad is a good move. If he should stay for whatever reason, let us know. Or if he should go somewhere else, let us know as well. We can move to our neighbors up north for usual. Promise David, one of the newest CONCACAF members, because he did just switch to Canada fairly recently over the past couple months or so, playing his mind off, playing his ass off is what I was meant to say, playing his ass off over in Belgium for Union Saint-Louis, Gillois. I don't know. But he might be moving to Premier League outfit Brighton, which comes with a lot of different things. Is that a good move?
I like it. Hear me out.
Oh, he likes it.
Okay.
Let him cook.
Brighton, obviously, they're known for great development, right? We know that they've been doing that for years now. They've had, I think, a little bit more of a shaky season this season, but even with that being said, it's still not a bad season by any means. And I was taking a look at their striker position earlier. Danny Welbeck, great striker, but he's not getting any younger, and he's not going to be the future that Brighton are looking for. Their second striker they have is Joao Pedro, who has been a little up and down and a little iffy. Definitely not someone you can rely on as your starting number 9. And that's why I think this is almost like as long as, and this is the only caveat I have here, that we know the Premier League is such a hard league to adapt into because of its physicality. It will beat you and it will batter you, and a lot of players cannot handle that. With that being said, promise, he is a big boy. He got them big bones. I think he can take that hit.
It's big
I think he
balls,
can
bro.
handle. Hey, I'm just saying. I see what I see, and I think he can handle. I hope, and I believe that the adaptability will take a little bit of time, but I think he can. Give him a few months. We always see it. Some players start off slow, but then they start picking up some speed. So like, give him a few months. Put him in that Brighton dressing room. Get him to start whatever they do over there. Whatever those trainers do to develop players. Get him on that that path.
Get him on
And
that
I
workout
think-
plan.
Yeah.
Get him on that workout plan. I'm
Bigger
telling you, I
bones.
think this has a
Yeah,
great
the
chance to
bone
work out
density's
really
got to
well.
increase.
Oh, you gotta drink plenty of milk and I think
Calcium,
he
get the calcium in your body, bro. Maximum calcium.
inject that calcium. But I like it. If he adapts, I think this works out so well. There's a spot right there for him. It's begging to be grasped, and he needs to go out there and get it.
Yeah.
You know,
I think
wanna-
no,
What the
whoa,
fuck?
whoa, let the brother go first. I feel like going off what Diego said, it's been proven that you can make that switch from the Belgian league to Brighton. Since Simon Adingra literally went from the same team, he went from Union SG to Brighton, and now look where he's at.
Woo,
He's developed like strongly.
Okay.
He's one of their best attackers right now, and I feel like it's been proven. So I mean, I feel like Promise David can make that jump and play alongside a fellow, teammate. I feel like they can do it, and it'll be like a great attacking option up front, but more like aerial threat.
And Andres wanted to go first. And
Oh
Andres
shit!
wanted to
I
go
didn't know what he was gonna
Let me
say. I mean, I let him go first. Did I not?
Andres, your turn. How do you one up Joaquin here?
I was just gonna provide information to
Go
sell
ahead.
the point
Please
of
do.
the fact he should
Please
go
do.
Brighton. Joao Pedro today, Fabrizio Romano did report that he actually does want to leave Brighton. So I was gonna say like it's a perfect fit. Also, I was gonna say he not only Brighton would be a good fit, Leeds also are interested in him. So I'm just saying though, like he's got 2 Premier League options. Obviously, one's coming from the Championship, but I think Brighton's a better fit for such talent in terms of developing and getting better. And Leeds is more like we all know they're gonna already go down. So let's be honest here.
crazy.
So it's not really anything a shocker there. But that's all I was gonna say. I didn't realize the brother connection was gonna be that fucking good. Makes me look silly. I shouldn't have talked at all.
League,
Fuck.
bro. Come on, man.
To add on, I mean, Brighton's the move. Like Leeds, I don't think Leeds would be a bad move. I think Leeds would give him the game time and give him Premier League experience, and he'd be a key centerpiece of the strike force. I know, but Leeds are also going after Callum Wilson and players of that like. Promise David, I don't think would be the worst pickup for Leeds. It's a big risk if you're a Leeds United fan, for sure. But Brighton's got to be the move, bro. Like Brighton just develops players so well. I don't know what it is over there. I don't think anybody else really knows what it is over there. Brighton just know how to develop these players. And not only that, Promise David will be playing alongside the likes of, you said, Adingra, Mitoma. A lot of these players, Rudder behind you, James Milner is there, of course, don't forget. But, Estupinian, Kadogu. Brighton are a good team. Brighton are a good team that not only knows how to develop their players, but gives you a good team to be a part of. And that's why I think Promise David should go to Brighton. And it's perfect timing, like you said. Joao Pedro is probably going to be out. Danny Welbeck is good, and he had one of his best seasons actually this year in his career. But he's not the striker of the future, obviously, because he is 34 years old. He's a good striker when you need one here and there, if you need one. But Promise David's got to be the next one there. I don't think he should be given the starting position right away unless he shows something in summer before the games start in preseason, which I think he could. But yeah, Joaquin's right. Like you said, a lot of Belgian players, convert really well into the Premier League. And, obviously Dinger is one. And you can name a bunch other in Premier League history. I think it's a good move. It'd be a good move. Now, Promise David, of course, is really good. He's had a really, really good season, but it's been 4 good seasons, but with different levels of quality, right? This is only season for Union Saint-Gilloise.
4th in scoring though at 17 goals, pretty impressive.
Don't get me wrong. It's amazing. And I think he deserves the move to a big team like Brighton. I do worry though, and I would assume Brighton scouts are worrying, is that we've only seen so much. He had a few good seasons before that, but I couldn't tell you what league it's in. But it's not a good league.
I think it was in
like
Sweden and
Latvia or something?
Yeah. He actually, I watched him do an interview. He seems like a really cool guy, but yeah, he was talking about his move and being there and stuff. But I did watch film on him. Obviously, lower level league based on what I saw, obviously, but he excelled perfectly as a player that, you'd expect to. You know, he had like 25 goals or something when he did play in that league. And he looked really good. So,
Estonia.
I mean,
I
obviously,
was gonna say Estonia, yeah,
really,
And
Estonia?
Malta too.
yeah, and he and Malta before, yeah.
So, I mean,
that is the
He's
only
seen
risk.
some shit, bro.
He wants to go. He wants to go.
If that's not mentality, bro, I don't know what is.
But I mean, to his credit, right? He's performing 22 goals and 40 appearances with 4 assists for a team who isn't amazing. They're one of the better Belgian sides, but the Belgian league is a tough league who has their top teams. It's really hard to get around the league. It's a tough league to adapt to, but he was able to, and right out of the gate, like I said, 22 goals in his first season. You can't deny that. I just worry that maybe that might be a one season kind of thing. I don't think it's going to be, but it could be. It could be, which is why I don't think Brighton can give him the starting position right away. But I do think Brighton's a better move than Leeds. 100% is a better move than Leeds, without a doubt. I think obviously Brighton have the upside. Brighton aren't really at risk of relegation, whereas Leeds are going to be fighting, tooth and nail every week for that. Yeah, it's good. It's good because you're playing like that. But is that the pressure he needs at the beginning? I don't think so necessarily. But Promise David is a fantastic, fantastic player who is, like I said, newly introduced to the Canadian national team. It's going to be an interesting summer, and I'm very curious to see where he goes. I think we all are, and it's how it impacts Canada, how it impacts him, and whatever team he goes to. Very, very good. Wow, that was a good one, boys. Obviously, let us know in the comments down below if you think he should go to the likes of Brighton or Leeds or wherever else. You tell us. Last player today, another American youngster, as we did last week with Kuramashi, but Brian Gutierrez, who I actually have his autograph right here, right next to me. Look at that.
Wow.
Thank you
Shout
for
out Brian.
the
Shout out Brian, even though he didn't give that to you. But
Brian Gutierrez. Well, I mean, I pretty
Brian.
much held hands with him, essentially, because his hand was like right here. That's not even true. It's a sticker auto, so they probably just moved on to this card. But anyway, he might be moving to Serie A outfit Roma. Much like Kuramashi last week, maybe going to Juve, he might be going to Roma. And I feel a little bit better about this move than I did for the Kuramashi move. I think is way more rounded and developed than Kuramashi was. And I don't think Roma is the worst move in the world. Greg Berhalter, pretty much made this kid. No, I'm just kidding. But do you guys have any opinion about Brian Gutierrez maybe moving into the Italian league, Serie A?
I just don't think he goes straight into the starting lineup. Like the way Roma, their team right now, like they're just so strong, or at least like starting wise, that I don't think he'd start right away. But I do think like maybe either alone or like somehow bring him in. But even then, like they're stacked at that position. So I think maybe even a lower division or lower ranked Serie A team might be better than Roma personally. But yeah,
Diego.
Yeah, I'm all for aiming high. I do think this is a pretty big jump from the MLS to a top 6 Italian team. And for someone who's so young still and still has a lot of raw potential, which is great, but it just means he still needs to refine a lot of things. I think the chances he's going to get are it's not going to be very forgiving over there. And they have a good team and they're doing well. They have pretty good form recently, Roma. So it's one of those where like, I don't think he's going to get that much game time. Maybe he'll play in some cup competitions, but again, I'm always for like players going somewhere where they can really get their rhythm going. And I don't hate it as much as like we talked about the last time we talked about the last player going to a top team, but I don't think it's my first choice. I don't think it's the best choice. I think there are other teams that would be more beneficial, that would provide him a better development route, and that would actually be more forgiving and give him that time and the chances that he needs. Because it's a big jump. Let's be honest. The MLS is nowhere near the level that the Serie A or any of those top 5 leagues is going to be. It's just a different pace, a different flow, and you need a lot of time for that. And he's just been in the U.S. for a while, but for Chicago Fire, he's been in there since I think for the past 5 years now. So he needs to be able to move on and develop in a new spot. But I don't know. I just don't think it's enough. It's going to be give him enough opportunities going into Roma. So I want a different club personally, but I don't know. Maybe behind the scenes they're promising him some really good chances. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's just how I see it.
To go off what Diego said, 5 years at Chicago Fire, and this year he's having his best season by far. I mean, he's had really good 2 seasons before, but this season is fantastic. But at 21 years of age, he has 140 appearances for Chicago Fire, who have been very lackluster up until this season, and they're still kind of okay. There's 9th place in the Eastern Conference, lower half, and he's been he's the only reason they're not lower. Brian Gutierrez is a very, very good player for Chicago Fire, and he should move. I'm okay with the move to Roma if they loan him out somewhere else. I'm okay with a Italian football move, but there'd be almost 0 point in going to Roma right now because stacked in the center in the midfield. It doesn't make sense at all right now. But if you were to move there, maybe move on loan to, I couldn't tell you a specific club that would benefit him right now, or will be benefited by him in that position right now in the Serie A. But anywhere else, I think would be good. Maybe even a Serie B team, to be honest. I could see that way more. But staying there at Roma, you'd get 4 appearances the whole season, and that's in the early editions of the Coppa Italia. I just don't see it personally, but I do like it more than I like the Cramashi move. There's a higher chance, there's a higher upside here, and I really hope he picks the right one. I personally would like to see him more at a La Liga side. I'd rather him go the Johnny Cardoso route instead. Obviously Johnny Cardoso didn't come from the MLS. He came from the Brazilian league and it's working at Real Betis. But I would rather see him at a La Liga side. I think Serie A is just too physically demanding for him right now. But Gutierrez, like the physicality of the MLS isn't the same kind of physicality as Serie A. Serie A will just beat you up. MLS will beat you up because he can't do anything else. Right? Serie A is going to beat you up and then dribble around you on the floor. There's a big difference that I don't think Gutierrez is ready necessarily for physically. So I can't see it right now. But I do want him to move soon, if not this summer. I think it's time. I think he's one of the better, if not the best midfield, true center mid prospect that the USA has right now. I want a good move. Andres Brian Gutierrez to Roma. What do you think?
I think he actually should stay. Honestly, I think finish the season out and then move. Honestly, okay. So look, he's been on an exponential increase in his skill level development. Let's be real here, because if you look at statistically speaking, he's already going to match his goals and assists from last season to this season, and he's only 9 games in. So this season right now he has 5 goals and 1 assist, and last season he had 6 goals and 3 assists in 32 appearances. So arguably he should have a lot more. And look, he's 21 years old. I don't see anything wrong with Roma per se in terms of he has to get loaned out because look, he's not going to start. There's no way he's touching the pitch at least the first 2-3 months he's there. I'm being in all honesty, no matter what's going on. Why would you leave when something's good? Especially you're developing exponentially to the point where you're getting better. You've been at Chicago Fire for a long ass time, and might as well just finish the season out, get your stock up, and then maybe make a move. I do agree, La Liga. He is very good on the ball. I will admit. He's a U.S. prospect, which annoys me. But look, from what I've seen, he's good on the ball. He's able to create chances, and he's creative with it. So I think honestly, just see it out, because Serie A, like you said, is way different from the MLS. There's also a lot more open space in the MLS that gives you time to make decisions and allow you to move the ball the way you want it, because really no one's going to pressure you, because the defense and midfield kind of gap are just so massive in the MLS. It's ridiculous a lot of the time, which is why it's a lot more attacking football in the MLS. But anyways, I don't see a move. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know what I mean? You're 21, stay. He's 22, and then go somewhere. I don't really see a move besides it being Roma, other than really progressing your career. I think a worst case scenario would stunt your growth as a player, because maybe they can't find a loan move for him, so he just sits on the bench for the entire season and then loses all that development he just gained. But honestly, he has a high ceiling, I will say, based on what I've seen. Very high ceiling. I'm unfortunately looking forward to see where he goes, but I think what's best for him is to stay at Chicago Fire, because I think can only improve and maybe do well enough to the point where he gets a lot bigger attention in terms of other leagues and stuff, and allows him to choose where he wants to go besides just Roma, personally.
I like that. But to be fair, if the pipe isn't broken and water's still flowing, don't fix it. But if it's a shitty pipe, upgrade. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it just
I agree. But at the same time, ain't broke, don't fix it. It's still working.
Mold in that pipe, brother.
You still what?
What
It's a dirty pipe. There's mold. There's mold in the pipe.
It's a moldy pipe.
Okay. I heard something completely different. Anyways, moving on. I think if it's ain't broke, don't fix it, obviously. But you can always upgrade later on. You don't need an upgrade right now. Save money a little bit, work up on that upgrade and then upgrade later. That's all I'm saying. I think obviously he's gonna. I strongly agree to the fact that he has to move. I just don't think he has to move right now. I think he can wait a season or maybe two. 2 is pushing it. I would wait till the end of this season and then go, personally.
I don't
You know,
I
I
don't
think-
disagree waiting. I see what you're saying, like kind of refine it, but also it's one of those where you don't want to risk like I mean, I'm sure he'll get offers at the end of next season, but you don't want to risk like not that Roma's the choice. We obviously are saying that it isn't, but you don't want to lose a good chance because it's not going to be the same team coming back next season most likely. So if he gets maybe another offer from another team, and that one is like the right step up that can still provide him that game time, I don't think he should wait at that point. You need to jump at that at a good chance. Again, it's Roma. I at that point I don't disagree. Maybe he should stay, but there's probably other teams interested. And so if he gets one, I don't think the waiting, if it's the right choice, I don't think he should wait. We know he's going to ball out for the remaining season. Like he's obviously gotten better and better each season, and he's reading the game better and better. And we know he's going to ball out this season. There's only so much more he can grow from playing in the MLS. Maybe this season is it, but maybe that next extra step gives him that extra bit of time to really up his game at a crucial point. When you're young, you're still learning your game, and you can still push yourself a little further than in a little bit down the line. So I think if the right offer comes, he doesn't wait. But as of right now, I don't disagree. I think maybe waiting is the call. If it's the only thing we're considering is Roma.
I like it. Obviously, let us know in the comments down below what you think. If should Brian Gutierrez move down or move now? I was gonna say too, Gold Cup is going to be a big thing because I believe he was he in the squad for the Gold Cup.
Yeah, he was in the
Yes,
preliminary
he
roster.
was.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. And I think it's gonna be a big deal too because I think he should make the team, especially with the likes of Weston McKennie not being in there. I think he should be on the final team. He is a good player and he deserves opportunity. I think he can play in the games against either Haiti or Trinidad and Tobago. I think he should make the team and get the opportunity. Let's say he does. Let's say he plays and does really well. Maybe other teams come knocking other than Roma and he gets to move on beyond that. But anything to not play under Greg Berhalter for at least a little bit makes you look a little bit better. Like I said, let us know in the comments down below what you think. Obviously, weekly series, guys. Like I said in the beginning, this is a weekly series. So if you want content like this in your subscription box every single week, subscribe down below. And if you want it to appear on your phone every week, hit notifications. And if you want it to appear on other people's screens, leave a like. So yeah, hopefully we'll see you guys in future videos after this. We got a lot of CONCACAF content coming soon for all the teams, all the tournaments, all the games, per usual. Hopefully see you guys in future videos. Take care.
Peace.